two right there with him. Smokes him. Oh, my goodness. Oh, the whole field is junk. It's a parking lot. They door slam each other. Checkered flag in the air. It's going to be too close to call. Oh, he just got smoked. Oh, my goodness. He got dumped in IMSA racing. Caution is out. Oh, he's dead. He's dead. Toward each other. Ricker jumps in. Checkered flag in the air. Scott Ricker wins it.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here tonight at Bristol. In the booth with me, Christian Taylor. Christian, how you feeling about this Stars and Stripes Series race here at Thunder Valley?
You know, I'm feeling really good about it. Welcome to the world's fastest half mile where patience goes a die and tempers run hot. Half the size, but twice the action, ladies and gentlemen.
Christian Taylor. Absolutely. And you know, our great fans at home tuning in, there's all kinds of them in the chat right now already. This place is booming. They might have seen our newest promo video. Christian, what'd you think about that?
You know, if the America's crew chief says something, you do it. You don't just question it. You don't think about it. You do it.
They might have seen 100% agree with you there, Christian. You know, a lot of people, they're just ignoring America's crew chief. If you're just tuning in, we have a promo from Larry McReynolds himself. That is not AI, folks. I swear to God. He loves Hutchinson Motorsports TV so much, he sent us a message to tell you that you need to like and subscribe. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, the world's #1 streaming service. What other streaming service is getting Larry Mack?
You know, yeah, definitely. For people saying it's AI, you know, we may have used to have an AI logo or two, but that is the most legit thing, I promise you, on Hutchinson Motorsports TV.
100%. I'm checking out the chat here right now. We got Tom O in the chat. Says, you guys getting the new season of Hunting Wives on here? I have no clue what he's talking about, but we got the
yeah, of course. That's
ahead.
what we talked about, Blake. Of course we are.
Oh.
Hunting Wives coming soon to Hutchinson Motorsports TV.
Okay, yeah, obviously. But we got Connor Gerard in the chat. I tell you what, Christian, he has not missed a race in months.
Definitely not. We're going to have to put him on the payroll, you know, as our, like, chief content officer or something. He's going to have to keep, being he watches everything, he's going to be able to tell us what needs to be posted to reels or not. You know what I mean?
100% agree with you. And it looks like we have 27 cars signed in. Practice has concluded. We are jumping straight into qualifying action. Christian, who you think is the car to beat here tonight?
You know, I haven't. I was late into the track. You know, there was some traffic out on the interstate coming into Bristol. But, you know, I'm going to keep an eye on your usuals here tonight. You got Scott Rickard, Kyle McCoy, if his internet cooperates. So I'm going to do what I did last time I watched. You know, I missed last Stars and Stripes, but I'm going to go with Kyle McCoy tonight.
Yeah, well, that's a good plan. And for those watching at home, I'm sure Chad White's tuned in. He's driving in this series. Chad, you need to fix your picture here in SDK because it really sucks. It is way off. Look at this, Christian. Look how ugly this is. What is he doing?
What is that?
We might have to fire him. If that's not fixed ASAP, Chad, you might lose your job.
Yeah, you know, I'm writing them up right now, actually. I can't take that. I'm writing them up.
It's just unexcusable. But out here, Christian,
Oh,
we
my
have
goodness.
we have two Hutchinson Motorsports TV cars out here in the field tonight. One of them, Bryce Barfield, he might lose his job, though. It looks like he forgot to put his patented Hutchinson Motorsports TV paint on the car tonight.
That's the second write-up of the evening. I'm gonna run out of pen and paper.
Yeah, Christian's got some serious work to do. Is Chad White from Loudon, Tennessee. This is his home track. We are expecting good things, Christian. I swear, a bad night, Chad, we might be having somebody else drive that 36 car next week.
Next week, we're here at Thunder Valley 250 tonight. We're going down to Nashville. We're gonna be racing the Music City 150 next week in the ARCA car. So he better get his game on because
This is the
they
home
don't play
stretch.
down there in Tennessee.
Yeah, this is a home stretch for Chad. We're really counting on him. He's here in Bristol, Tennessee, then he goes over to Nashville, Tennessee. He doesn't have to leave his home state for 2 weeks. He better pick it up.
For sure. I'm gonna keep an eye on him. I mean, he's on his second write-up now. He don't want me to do it a third time.
100%. We got Nate Lynch out here out of Manchester, Iowa, the 25 Mellow Yellow machine. I swear this guy changes sponsors like he changes underwear, Christian.
He has to. He's always gambling, ain't he?
Yeah, he's got a real problem, Earlier, he was talking about betting on iRacing racing here earlier, Christian.
Betting on iRacing. Wow. Oh my goodness.
He's got a real problem, but we got Andrew Hess out here. Be sure to ask him about his wieners on Instagram out of New Lenox, Illinois. Andrew Hess, the IndyCar ringer. He might be good in that IndyCar. He's not very good usually in these, but how about that first lap, putting down 4th place?
Pretty good run there. His wieners on Instagram. Even my wife loves him, which is, shocking.
Absolutely. And here's Ben Shepherd ripping it around the Speedway. Boy, what a beautiful paint. He stuffs it into the wall where it deserves. That paint and that car is junk for Ben Shepherd.
Oh, man. Look at that paint scheme.
And we got Jason Gratton ripping it around. Still unsponsored. This guy cannot find a sponsor.
Mario helmet kind of gives it away for him.
Yeah, sponsors really lose credibility, unfortunately, for the 46. So he's probably going to be sponsorless for quite a while. But we're looking around the track here. Trey Jackson just put down his time. Then we got Brian Lynch out here. He keeps rocking the Hooters paint jobs, even though Hooters is struggling in business world today.
Hey, Hooters couldn't even pay Hendrick Motorsports. What makes you think they're going to be able to pay him?
Yeah, my guess is they're not going to pay him. He's going to be disappointed. But Zachary Nelson, this is a guy here, Christian. He doesn't make it to every race, but when he does, he is always a car to beat. Zach Nelson in that 07, you can count on him being quick, even though that lap was junk.
He's in the Chick-fil-A car. He's driving for the Good Lord's Chicken brand.
Absolutely, and closed on Sundays, Chick-fil-A, so he's trying to get his money's worth here tonight. Rolling out onto the track now, though, that Amtrak 63, one of the most talented drivers on the sim, Christian. It is Aaron Poplin.
The anime fan himself. The only thing he does more than drive in iRacing is watch anime. He is fluent Japanese speaker.
Absolutely, this guy just cannot get enough anime. Aaron Poplin ripping it around. So let's see who else we got. We got Ryan Lynch out there putting around, looking pretty slow. Actually put down the second slowest lap that's hit the track. Congratulations there, Ryan. Aaron Poplin's not much better. Pretty slow.
Coming in 19th. Why did he even unload tonight?
Christian, he probably should have just stayed home tonight. Not going to lie, Aaron Poplin. I said he's one of the most talented drivers on the sim. I take it back. He is not very good.
He probably was watching anime on his phone while trying to qualify. That's why he was so slow.
That's my guess. But, Christian, it is official. Qualifying has ended. Top of the board. Quick time. Kyle McCoy going to kick off from the pole position. But, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get gridded up, get rolling. Let's find some of these patented Hutchinson Motorsports TV tunes and get going. We are rocking out here. Thunder Valley 250 Stars and Stripes Series action. Tuesday night racing. Hutchison Motorsports TV. World's #1 streaming service. Larry McReynolds told you need to subscribe. Folks, click that like button on the video. Subscribe to the page. Here is tonight's starting lineup. On the front row from the pole position in the 7, Kyle McCoy. On his outside, the 46, Jason Grattan.
Moving on to row number 2, you have from Hutchison Motorsports TV, Chad White in the 36. To his outside, the GOAT, Scott Rickard in the 05.
In row number 3, ask him about his winners on Instagram. It's a 54, Andrew Hess. On his outside, he's fast in every car we got. It's the 23, Dylan Green.
Moving back to row number 4, Zach Kreitz from GWC Racing in the 9 machine. The gambling man to his outside, starting the 8th position, Nate Lynch.
Row number 5 on the inside in the 53. He's the team owner of Team BCI. It's Brian Samara. On his outside, the 69 in the iRacing paint scheme. It's Ben Shepard.
Moving back to row number 6, Aaron Hale from Track Autosport in the 4 car. To his outside, Josh Grattan in the 8.
Row number 7 on the inside in the number 5, Trey Jackson. On his outside, the 37, Bryce Barfield.
And Larry Griffin the 3rd in the 77 for On the Throttle Racing. Cal Bowman in the 44 for Track Autosport.
Row number 9 on the inside in the 24. It's Brian Lynch. On his outside, the 07, Zachary Nelson.
Moving back to row 10, in the 19th position from BCI, the anime fan Aaron Hoffman in the 63. Sam Siegel to his outside in the 55.
Row number 11 on the inside, the 41, Michael Kurzelik. On his outside, the 3 of Ryan Lynch.
And Brian Burchett in the 33 car. To his outside, Chris Essery in the 91.
Starting 25th in the 17, he was slow, he was junking qualifying. It's William Duff the 4th. On his outside, the 10, Dancing Shoes, Mark Schrader.
And the last and final row, he's slow all back there by himself, Doug Pierce in the 39.
Doug Pierce starting last. Indeed, you think he can work up through the field, Christian?
You know, probably not.
I was going to agree with you there. Now, Christian, your pick to win, I believe you took Kyle McCoy. Is that right?
I did, and you know, you always say that, oh, I just picked the pole position, yeah. I picked him before he got pole position tonight.
Yeah, well, that's the first. Well, you know who I'm going to go with? I'm going to throw in a wild card here. I'm just kidding. I'm taking the GOAT, Scott Rickard. Ladies and gentlemen, the pace car is in. Field is set. Green flag in the air at Bristol.
We're off rolling here in the Gen 4 cars at Bristol, heading through turns 1 and 2. We know how these Gen 4 cars behave on short tracks. They don't like contact. They don't like beating the bank, and we're going to have all of it here tonight.
Christian, yeah, we are expecting a bunch of cautions here at Thunder Valley tonight. These guys are going to be junking each other, I guarantee it.
There'll be no short of junking here tonight. Keep an eye out on your usual suspects. Look at the go. Josh Grattan getting the run on the high side. Had to woe it down. The 69 car in front of him. Nowhere to go for the 8.
Look out!
Nate Lynch on the bottom. He's going to spin the 69 who saves it. The 8's going to finish him off. 69 around. The 5 involved. 37, 44. There is
Oh,
big
my God! They're junking each other. Well, Christian, that was a good couple laps there, but when they started spinning, the entire field, I thought that was another one coming, but it was a pace car. These guys are in the air, and we're finally getting untangled.
That was, we're going to have to break that one down. We had some people just kept piling on in there.
There's just so much that happened there. I don't really even know if we can diagnose this whole thing. Honestly, let's try to find where this. We know it started with the 69. I believe the 25 of Lynch might have helped him out a little. Let's get a little better view though here. Let's go up to the NASCAR 2017 view here. Let's take a look here. So there's Nate Lynch on the bottom. Got the 69 above him up the track. No, 69 just goes loose.
Yep, definitely so. Didn't get spun out. And then just from there, no one has anywhere to go, and these cars don't brake by themselves. I don't think they even tried. None of them tried. They were all gas, no brakes with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, Christian, these cars don't stop, so they were like, you know what, I'm just going to stay on the gas, and I'm going to junk them. Let's hop on board with Bryce Barfield. He, you know, he got some damage here, but it could have been a lot worse for him. Let's see what he sees out of his front windshield here. So Bryce Barfield, he's way back here behind the wreck here. So right in front of him, you're going to see him wreck. Here comes the 69, this next corner. About 3 cars on the high line above him. Here it is. So there's a 69, Barfield, trying to avoid him, goes to the bottom, nowhere to go, slams the brake, gets turned, and here they come.
Yeah, just keep piling in.
Oh.
You know, the bright lights here at Bristol, you know, they were all blinded by the lights. That's what was going on. They just couldn't see.
Yeah, that was not good news. If you were behind about the 10th position, you were most likely involved in that wreck. But the good news is our 2 picks to win are still looking good. Yours is Kyle McCoy out front, and I got the GOAT, Scott Rickard, in 3rd.
Well, that happened about mid-pack, and everybody behind him. You're either the hammer or the nail at this track, and I'd say half the field was the nail there.
Absolutely. And Christian, you know, you weren't here last week. Jesse was. We both totally ignored Chad White. We didn't really take him seriously. Well, it looks like we're doing the same thing here tonight. You got the guy in 1st. I got the guy in 3rd. In the Hutchison Motorsports TV car, we're not picking.
How did Jesse ignore Chad White when it was his pick to win, not yours?
Well, just because.
So you slept on Chad is what you're saying.
Absolutely, but Kyle McCoy out of Morrison, Illinois, look at this paint job. How about that? Iowa State throwback paint scheme here. Looking good. But the pace car is in. Christian, take a screen.
Kyle McCoy takes the green flag in that Iowa State machine. Too bad they're going to be losing this season because Tennessee's going to win it all as they head down the backstretch for the first time. Or second time tonight, excuse me.
Absolutely looking down. It's time to go down trackside here as most our cars are junk already. Let's go trackside. It's time to crank it up, or we like to call it bring the noise with Harpoon Design. Wow, incredible views and sounds around the Speedway. We are still clean and green. McCoy out front. It is some good racing here so far since the restart.
Definitely so. They're kind of getting, you know, straightened out a little bit here. A few cars side by side. The 9's up top with the 25 trying to get around them. It's going to do so, but he kisses the wall on corner exit here. Here's the 54 of Andrew Hess fighting his way towards the front.
New race leader out front. Chad White taking over the lead out of Loudon, Tennessee. It's his hometown track, but here comes the 7. Chad White going to hold on to the lead for now.
We're 15 laps into this 250-lap race. They got some time to, you know, work on it. We're going to go on board with Chad White. Let's flip around all the cameras that Blake is literally duct taped inside of this car.
I tell you what, we spent a lot of money on this car. We are going to get every ounce of money out of it as we see the Harpoon Designs blimp up in the sky. These are beautiful views here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We sold it out here on a Tuesday night.
You know, not even NASCAR Cup Series could sell Bristol out, but we can here solely because Hutchison Motorsports TV is broadcasting. They may not even be watching the broadcast, but they just wanted to say, hey, I was there when Hutchison Motorsports TV broadcasted the Stars and Stripes Series at Bristol.
Absolutely, Christian. You know, I was down in the stands earlier today before the broadcast talking with these great fans, and I asked them all, I said, what brings you to Bristol Motor Speedway on a Tuesday night? And I swear about 80% of them said Hutchison Motorsports TV, plain and simple. So that brings me to my next point, folks. Like and subscribe to the video here. We have Tuesday night racing with the Stars and Stripes Series. We're in the Gen 4 cars here at Bristol Motor Speedway tonight for the Thunder Valley 250.
All right, Blake, we have to address something in the chat. Jared Hutton says that you measure your money in weight. Are you that rich?
Absolutely, Jared. You know, how do you think we were able to put Larry McReynolds on the payroll?
You know, he's the America's crew chief. You know, he was crew chiefing Dale Sr. when he won at Daytona. I mean, does that say that finishes the Senate for itself?
Yeah, and you know, Christian, you know what? While we're still clean and green, it's time to go to our buddy Larry McReynolds. He's got a message for you here. Maybe this is a different one. I'm not sure. Let's see. Larry, what do you got?
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchison Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchison Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
Wow, Larry, well said. Now, Christian, are these guys going to continue to ignore America's crew chief who has never steered us wrong? They need to subscribe today.
You know, it was good enough for Dale Sr. It should be good enough for you. Subscribe right now.
Absolutely. And look at this. We got a 3-car breakaway battle for the race lead as Chad White trying to hold off the 7 of McCoy. Let's see if White is saving those tires enough. It looks like McCoy starting to reel him in a bit.
Definitely is. You know, you really don't win this race. You just survive it. But McCoy doesn't need survival. He's going to do it on pure skill.
Absolutely, getting a big run. He's going to go to the bottom here. Can he finish that pass? No, he can't. Just seems like that bottom lane when he has to enter there is killing him. But how about Brian Samara running 4th right now? Christian, do you think he's got that kind of speed, or is he just roasting those tires?
You know, Brian is one of those sneaky devils that could, you know, sometimes just surprises you. He is the 3-time 5150 Cup Series points runner-up. And, you know, back in the day, 5150 was in its prime. That wasn't an easy accomplishment to finish second.
You know, Christian, I'm watching on board. You know, he's really not turning his wheel that much, so I don't really think he's roasting those tires. I think he's doing a good job. I think he's going to be up there the whole night.
Yep, but he is also a very unlucky man, so.
Absolutely, one we definitely have to watch for. I tell you what, Dylan Grimm, I'm not even kidding. This guy could probably hop in a car he's never seen before and run up front. He's always up there.
Definitely so. Anything that he sets foot in, he makes it will and makes it look beautiful doing it.
And boy, how about that number 3 machine ripping it around there, Christian? Get a better look here. That's Ryan Lynch. This is a beautiful machine.
You know, it's missing the front bumper. It's been war battered. You know, there was a time where there was a black 3 that terrorized this Coliseum. You know, back in 1992, he spun Terry Labonte out to win the race. And then just in the 2000, that's when we got the famous, he didn't mean to wreck him. He was just trying to rattle his cage a little bit. And I bet you Kyle McCoy is thinking about rattling Chad White's cage here.
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't blame him, but Kyle McCoy, one of the cleanest racers on the circuit, he's not going to get into him yet. We're still early on here, lap number 33. I tell you what, you know, the good thing about that big wreck we had, it took out about half the cars, so it really cleaned things up.
Definitely did, but you know, Chad's a clean driver, Kyle's a clean driver, but look in 3rd position. Tell me what happened at Daytona when somebody tried to pass him for the win.
Well, I tell you what, Scott Rickard coming to the line at Daytona in the tri-oval gave one of the hardest doorings I've ever seen in my life. It was the dooring heard across the world. Scott Rickard, he won it by junking a guy. It was great.
You know, he gave him a good old side slapper, and now Kyle McCoy on the bottom side trying to make it work there for Chad White. They got traffic all in front of them.
This is anybody's game right here. It just matters where the lap cars are when they get them. Chad, nowhere to go, but nowhere to go for McCoy either.
Gonna split it 3 wide down the middle. Through goes Chad White.
Boy, aggressive moves from Chad, but you have to be whenever you're duking it out with McCoy. And Chad, nowhere to go. He's gonna hold the top. The 10 doesn't know where to move.
10 gonna follow him down the track. 10 defending his lap. So I mean, it's all within his right. Chad gonna go block the 7. He is mirror driving right now, ladies and gentlemen. Mirror driving.
Yeah, the 10 driving his heart out like he's not a lap down, but Chad White does a great job getting through that traffic here.
Definitely the GOAT Scott Rickard makes it through too, just on their heels, making this a three-way battle for the lead.
And one that didn't get through the traffic as well, Brian Samara, and it looks like he's got some company. Dylan Grimm has gotten to that back bumper. Oh, the 10 into the wall.
Mark Schrader hard into the wall. It sounds like William Duff may have made contact with him.
We're still green.
He can't see.
He can't even see. We're green, Christian.
Green flag, watch out! Everybody watch out! Oh. He's gonna hit the wall here. He can't see. He probably can't steer. He needs to stop and tow it.
We're still green, by the way, but let's rewind this, see what happened. We saw Mark Schrader driving his heart out, duking it out with the guys on the lead lap. But,
right
he might have got some little help here from the 17.
Oh, my, the 17. Just gives him a little kiss. Inside wall.
Yeah, let's hang on. There's a lot of let's go to the spotter cam here. So here's the spotter cam, and 10 comes down a little bit, but the 17 came way up the track. I'd have to pin that one on the 17. So the 10 is done. Chad White still holds on to the race lead for now, but he is side by side once again with the 7, Kyle McCoy.
That Nesquik car has done spoiled.
Yeah, Schrader gave it his all, and right now they're coming up on Aaron Poplin, who's going to hold Chad up.
Oh man, he just screwed his 5150 brethren there.
Man,
Kyle
yeah.
McCoy, you're race leader again.
Hey, you know, if you're Aaron Poplin, you could have chose the top or the bottom. You know, he's got a long history with Chad White over in 5150 Racing Series. Well, he must not be a big fan of Chad White because he takes a high line. He says, you know what, go Iowa State, go McCoy. Gives Kyle McCoy the race lead.
My, oh my. You know, that 17 car taking out that Nesquik car kind of reminded me of what the 17 did at Martinsville. You know, cleared by Logano, maybe no, just flat out took him out.
And, you know, looks like Samara's struggling, starting to drop. Maybe I was wrong. I think Brian Samara might have roasted those tires a little too quickly.
Those tires might be crying a little bit.
You know, I figured you'd have a joke there about hotter than something, but we'll have to come back to that one.
Well, you know, we'll figure it out.
But out front, Kyle McCoy, he's got clean air in front of him, and he is running away with it. Chad White starting to drop. They've hit a wall with tire wear, it seems like, Christian.
Yeah, I think it's starting to kick in.
Absolutely, and looking at lap times here, their best lap, let's see, looking at your race leader, McCoy, he's fallen off about a little over half a second. Meanwhile, though, Chad White's fallen off about 0.8 of a second. You don't even want to know what you don't even want to know what Brian Samara's fallen off, Christian.
Oh, I can see it over here on my monitor, and it's not looking good. Tire wear going to be a big implication here tonight. We have 200 laps left, and I think they have what, 4 sets of tires sitting in the pits.
I have no clue. You know I don't look at that stuff.
Oh, Blake, we're going to teach you one of these days.
Hey, nonetheless, speaking of scoring, do you have a link to the scoring? Is that working for you?
I did not even try to pull that up tonight.
It probably wouldn't work because I don't think I said a room name, but I'm going to make it the same as it was last time. But it might still be different. So nonetheless, we'll get back to that here in a little while. But out front, Kyle McCoy, your race leader. Scott Rickard, the GOAT, in second. He's back there about 0.9 of a second. These are our 2 picks to win it in first and second. They're going to be duking it out all night long, it seems.
Definitely going to be battle of the ages here tonight. You know, it's going to be pretty much of who could catch the lap traffic, you know, win, because that's going to define how fast or slow you are on a lap.
100%. As McCoy, the fastest car on the track, still pulling away from Rickard. You know, something about McCoy, he's just a master at saving these tires. He really reminds me a lot. You aren't too familiar with him because he didn't make it out, but last season's champion, Josh Robinson, who actually went back-to-back, won the season before as well. Just these long runs, he just always would pull away from people, and Kyle McCoy reminds me a lot of Josh Robinson.
Anything, you know, Kyle McCoy, he would have won quite a few by now if it wasn't for his internet connection. But I think he's finally got that figured out.
You know, and it seems it was more of a hardware issue. And wow, talk about falling off. Brian Samara's, oh, never mind. I thought Samara was about to get lapped there, but that's not your race leader. That's Andrew Hess. The colors are the same.
Yep, that's definitely not the Iowa State machine. That is, I can't even tell you.
Wiener Schnitzel, I believe.
Wiener Schnitzel, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, something about, you know, Andrew Hess, he's a big fan of Wiener Schnitzel. They are diehard sponsors of them. They've been with them from the start.
Ask him about his wieners on Instagram.
For sure. Is Kyle McCoy ripping it around, putting these guys a lap down. Looks like there's only 12 cars remaining on the lead lap here.
Connor Gerard makes a good point. Green flag pit stop's definitely coming soon.
Well said, Connor. You know, and I'm not sure what a fuel run is here. I do believe they run like 100% fuel here. Honestly, I don't know.
I just noticed something. Look at that 91 machine. That's the best looking car on this track. He is rooting for good old Rocky Top, Tennessee.
Yeah, Chris Essery. Oh, look out, he just jumped the 8!
Oh my goodness.
He said go Tennessee and flat out jump the 8 of Josh Gratton. Let's get a replay and see what happened.
No, that was not Tennessee. Josh Gratton wrecked himself.
Let's rewind this. I don't know. Let's see what happened here. Let's go to the Hutchinson Motorsports TV Spider Cam. Best Spider Cam in the business. So here it is. So we got the 8 there down on the bottom. Comes up the track. Oh, no, the 24. Yeah, he just comes up and hits the 24. That was totally the 8's fault.
Yeah, he actually owned it in the chat.
Race leader almost,
on the radio.
Almost involved there. Narrowly avoids him.
Well, there goes your green flag pit stops. Everybody coming down pit road. Kyle McCoy leading them down.
Yes, sir. So we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to be back in a moment. Kick back, relax, click that like button, subscribe to the video. Larry McReynolds told you to do it, and I'm telling you to do it too. We'll be back in a moment. Patented Hutchinson Motorsports TV tunes coming up right now.
Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
We are back. Green flag in the air here at Thunder Valley. Kyle McCoy, your race leader. Scott Rickard on his outside.
Scott Rickard going to try not to let McCoy go. I don't think he's going to have anything for him. Kyle McCoy seems to be strong and dominant on that bottom line. Kyle McCoy going to make it down the front stretch, though, on his side. Through the turns. It's going to go way up high. Scott way down low. Excuse me, Kyle way down low.
And Christian, you were totally wrong here. You know, your entire analysis was just disproven as Scott Rickard, the GOAT, blows by and takes over the race lead, and caution is out. Brian Samara has jumped.
Junk. Tennessee car involves. Oh my.
Oh, he just turned it.
Oh. 17
Oh,
involves.
the 3 has hit
17.
everything, Christian. That guy's hit everything. That's Ryan Lynch.
I want him to go back out there and hit the damn hay car. He done hit everything else.
Boy, Samara on the cold tires just loops it around. Scott Rickard takes over that race lead. He had a big run, but we do know, Kyle McCoy, he's set up for that long run. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that Scott Rickard took the lead back from him here, because we remember at the start of the race, Chad White also got around him.
Definitely. So, very unfortunate to see Brian Samara took out of this one. Kind of to his own demise, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's at least one of those things. You can't really blame somebody else for it. A lot of times you get mad at other people for some incidents. Well, that 100% Brian's fault, unfortunately.
Yep, he even claimed it in chat. Queued up on the radio and said, "My bad, guys."
Yeah, it happens sometimes, especially here in these Gen 4 cars. If you're just tuning in, we are here at Thunder Valley, Bristol Motor Speedway in the Gen 4 cars. Stars and Stripes Series action. We just had a long, clean green flag run, then a restart there, instant yellow.
I'm about to do your drunk report here. If I say your favorite driver, they ain't racing because they're junk. Zachary Nelson, Bryce Barfield, Ben Shepherd, Michael Craddox, Trey Jackson, and Mark Schrader. All junk.
Yeah, and there's only, let's see, so 14 cars are at least multiple laps down. So that tells you
Definitely,
right there what you need to know.
I'm seeing 11 on the lead lap, and that's including Brian Samara, who probably won't be for long.
Yeah, he's still out there for now. That car is definitely beat up. He needs to go down pit road and try to fix some of that front end damage.
He's driving that open wheel modified.
He's not even going to pit. Just hell with it. We got what we got.
That car is tore up from the ground up. He's going to need a new body. He's going to need a new paint scheme. And where can he get that at?
Well, maybe he did pit. He must have missed it when we were going over the replay. We're jumping around here a little bit, seeing what we got. But there goes everybody lining themselves up here as the field gets set. Brian Samara still on the lead lap. He's got a junk race car, though. Looks like we're going to be going green. This time around, front row going to be Rickard on the bottom and McCoy on the top.
Green, green, green.
I can't wait to watch this restart. Green flag in the air. Scott Rickard, the GOAT, launches like a missile on this restart.
Yeah, Rickard out front. Great start for him. And how about Zach Kreitz sneaking up there, sitting in the third position? And here comes the 25 and Nate Lynch.
Nate Lynch making a run. Napa know-how in front of him in that 9 machine. Gonna keep it on the bottom as Nate Lynch here under that 54, trying to make it work. 54 gonna get the run off that high side, which has been dominant all night. Chad White lurking behind him.
Chad White, he had a good start to this race, has been struggling ever since. He's fallen back to the 6th spot, but he's trying to get this thing going, and I think he has learned the importance of saving those tires here in his Gen 4 car at Bristol.
You definitely saw that first long run. The tire fall off was intense, especially when you got to like the 50 lap marker.
Absolutely. As we jump around the field, McCoy in second, falling back here. Nate Lynch sitting in third. We saw Chad White in fourth and Dylan Grimm getting around him quickly. That 23 FedEx machine, Dylan Grimm heading back up to the front.
Oh, the Hooters car bout takes Chad White out there. Has to slam the brakes. Everyone stays clean and green, though. Aaron Hell and the Paul Payday. He's eating paydays
I tell
and
you
driving
what,
race cars.
Christian, he better keep an eye on that car. If he takes out the Hutchinson Motorsports TV car, I might run down to his pit.
Yep, I'll be broadcasting myself while you are, took away in a cop car, banging your head on the window or something. Brian Samara going to the pits.
He says this thing is junk. We are going down pit road. Brian Samara says that's enough.
Going back up to Zach Kreitz from Denver, Colorado. You know what they do all day in Colorado, right?
What's that, Christian?
They light it up.
Absolutely. Let's go down trackside. Listen to him. Oh, look at that beautiful angle.
Oh.
Christian, did you install that camera? You must have installed that one.
I promise you, I had no installation of these cameras here tonight. This is not one of Christian Taylor's prized camera packs.
As Zach Kreitz ripping around in third place here, behind him Andrew Hess running in the top 5 here in New Lenox, Illinois.
I just got word that Jesse Becker installed that camera. I think he put it up on the wall,
of course he
and
did.
it got knocked down into the safer barrier near one of these wrecks.
I am not shocked. Jesse Becker always shortcutting everything. So I bet he probably just tried to duct tape that camera there, not knowing that the wind from the cars would blow it off.
You know, I did find the roll of duct tape on corner exit of 4, so I bet that's where it came from.
That wouldn't shock me. Jesse Becker probably went out there in the morning, duct taped the cameras, never went back and double checked. But Christian, it's time for a blimp flyover. On your screen, take a look here at the top of your screen, ladies and gentlemen, as they're ripping it around Thunder Valley. Harpoon Design Blimp. What a beautiful graphic, folks. Be sure, head over, harpoondesign.com. You can get your paint jobs there from Brantley Roden, iRacing's #1 painter. That is a proven fact. Head on over to tradingpaints.com. Search the painters. You'll see he's at the top of the page. Paints start at just $25.
Some of the most beautiful paint schemes in the business, kind of like that blimp. It just brings a tear to my eye every time I look up at it.
And we got Brantley up in the blimp. You know, he's not in the chat tonight, I don't think, but we got him flying that blimp. Let's go up, see what he's seeing in the sky.
Look at him go. You know, just last week, he was actually involved in a police chase. You know, they actually falsely identified his blimp, but he was actually running from the police, even got arrested before they released him when they said, okay, yeah, we got the wrong guy.
And he does a great job up there. Hey, Brantley, could you queue up on our race leader, see what he's doing? That's Scott Rickard, the GOAT. Oh, there we go. Quick go. Oh, well done, Brantley. There is your race leader, Scott Rickard, the GOAT. He has half a second lead on Kyle McCoy here, heading into lap number 90.
This is Scott Rickard, the GOAT show. He knows what he's doing around here at Bristol, apparently. But Kyle McCoy's going to reel him in soon.
Yeah, you know, this is a 2-car race now, Christian. I think we have proven that. Unless these guys get involved in a wreck or something, I don't think anybody else has anything for them.
Yeah, I say in about 5 laps, though, 05 and 7 will be catching the lap traffic. You know, 46 and 55 is leading that race for last on the track right now, so gotta keep an eye on them.
And then the best of the rest battle right here. Zach Kreitz in the 3rd position, holding off the 54 of Andrew Hess. And it's time to look at the board here. Let's see who is controlling the Hutchinson Motorsports TV battle for last here. I'm going to give it to the 55 of Sam Siegel.
Sam Siegel holding it down in that iRacing sponsored machine. I want to highlight
Aaron's
something.
trying to junk him.
Oh, my
Oh, and he
goodness.
does!
He tried twice and did.
He finally gets it done. Aaron Poplin is laughing in his car. Let's go in the car, Christian, see if we can see a smile. He's probably grinning ear to ear.
He's laughing and animated. You hear it?
Aaron Poplin just flat out junked him. We saw it live here, folks. It's like I knew it was coming. I swear, Christian, I just have a sixth sense. I knew something was about to happen. Aaron Poplin just junked the guy that was controlling the battle for last.
You know, he didn't just try once. He tried twice. And the 3rd time, he just sent him on around. That Amtrak train was on rails to wreck him for battle of last.
Absolutely. And as our leaders, it's going to be interesting what they elect to do here. Pit road open there? Yeah, I think it was. So they're staying out here. They got to save a set of tires. Like you said, I think they only have 4 sets, so they really don't want to burn another one up here this early.
Definitely so. One thing I was going to say before that wreck is I've been watching William Duff in that 17 machine. He was all over the track before the caution came out. He's going to take it into pit roads. He's not only an open wheel modified, but he's also the open air intake machine too.
Is that even legal, Christian?
It is legal as long, well, you know,
I don't think I've ever seen
NASCAR. In modern day NASCAR, it is not legal. You have to have your flaps operational on the front. But in old days, you know what they do? They'd cut every body panel off that car if they could just get back out there and race.
Yeah, he is parked down pit road, trying to get that lump of junk fixed up. They're slapping some duct tape, but the duct tape has nowhere to stick to, Christian.
Definitely not. Kind of like, you know, Tyler Reddick's car at Daytona this last week. It had half of its weight in self-tapping screws.
100%. And folks, if you're still tuned in here, click that like button, subscribe to the page, Hutchinson Motorsports TV, world's #1 streaming service. We are here tonight, Tuesday night racing with your Stars and Stripes Series Great racing so far. We're in the Gen 4 here tonight. And tomorrow night, we're going to be back here in the GLSR Mr. Radiator Truck Series. It is the points opener tomorrow. Christian, are you excited?
We're going racing the trucks at Talladega. Boys, ways to risky high in your glass. We're going to destroy some trucks and make a championship race begin.
That's going to be exciting. You know, last week was our Clash event, a preseason event we had for the GLSR Mr. Radiator Truck Series. And boy, what a great start to the season. It should be a good one.
Definitely so. Going, like I said, the high banks of Talladega. We went 3 wide at Daytona last week, but at Talladega, you can make it 4 wide and still be all right.
100%. And for all you open wheel fans, folks, Sunday night we had our IMSA Racing Series as a pace car is in field is set. Green flag in the air. Scott Rickard out front once again.
You know, I hear the jets spool up as they come off of 4 every restart, and then Scott Rickard, the GOAT, just launches off of the line like he's launching SpaceX to satellite or something.
Absolutely, as they're getting single file through the field on this start. Good thing to see. I think we're going to see some pretty clean racing the rest of the way. We're not even halfway done yet. But really, I mean, we've had 4 cautions. A couple of them, really nothing we could have done about.
Definitely so. I'm seeing 1st through 9th on the lead lap. Then Ariel Poplin is 10th, 2 laps down. Then after that, you go down to 16th position. Everyone from 16th back to 26 is out of the race. Junk.
So actually, Jason Gratton and Aaron Poplin, they're both 2 laps down. So they actually are racing each other for something because whoever is in front gets that lucky dog next caution.
Definitely so. And, you know, if the caution comes out, if we continue to junk some cars, they might actually have a chance to get back on the lead lap if they've got that damage fixed.
Definitely a possibility as Rickard tries to hold on from McCoy here into lap 104 this next time around. But before we went green, I mentioned, you know, MCR racing. That's our IMSA series. It's multi-classes. They got the GT3s, LMP2s, and GTPs, folks. That is something you're going to want to watch. We had a broadcast Sunday night. It was a great one, and we're going to be back for the season finale at Daytona this coming Sunday.
Daytona International Road Course is one of the most recognizable road courses in all of America. A beautiful facility, is the world center of racing.
100%. And Christian, there is news, actually. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, we weren't just satisfied with doing IMSA racing. We're actually going to fill in and do a spot broadcast of Super Formula racing. Christian, I don't even know what Super Formula cars are.
Well, you know, you tend not to know anything that doesn't turn left constantly, but they are open wheel cars. Think Indy car, but with a little bit more downforce. So they're pretty much the closest thing you could get to true Formula One racing on the platform, unless you drive that one Formula One car that they've provided.
Yeah, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. We're going to be at Spa. It's going to be a Monday night, I believe. It is a week from yesterday, so I believe it's this coming Monday, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to double check my calendar.
Definitely a, you know, Spa. I don't know how much you know about that track. One of the most famous road courses in the world, I'll say.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And that is also another MCR league. And if you're interested in joining MCR, folks, check out our description. Join our Discord channel, and we have links to all of our leagues on there. You can join today, and as well as our other leagues. You know, we're broadcasting 4, sometimes 5 leagues every week right now.
Definitely so. Going to be a jam-packed schedule. One thing I need you to remember at Spa is one of the most famous turn names in all of racing is the La Rouge.
Well, Christian, that's not going to happen. I will not remember that.
Well, you know, I tried, ladies and gentlemen.
Nonetheless, though, Chad White running in the 5th position. Solid night for Chad, you know, 5th place. That's kind of about where I expected him. He's solid up here in the Stars and Stripes series, you know, and Christian, you know, we were looking at the Hutchinson Motorsports TV power rankings. Chad White holding his ground there. I believe he is in 11th, if I'm not mistaken, last I looked.
You know, that's pretty, I mean, that's not a bad feat, though.
No, it's honestly pretty impressive. Again, if you're not familiar, Hutchinson Motorsports TV, we have a power rankings where we have all of our drivers and all of our leagues. So there's over 100 drivers that have registered for this power rankings. and we have them all ranked in order. And Chad White sitting around 10th or 11th, which is pretty solid, top 10%.
Definitely so. And if you wanted to check out the full list, and if you're a driver from any league, want to see where you're at, head on over to the Discord. If you're not in the Discord already, find the link in the description below. You could find a full 1 to however many racers we have. Do you know how many we have right now, Blake?
What's that?
Racers total on that power rankings list.
I do not. Around 100.
So it's a very noble list.
And, you know, and I'm checking out the chat. We have Bones Does out there. I tell you what, this guy doesn't miss a race. You know, he's not sitting there waiting in the waiting room like Connor Gerard is, but he always shows up. Bones does. He loves his Hutchinson Motorsports TV broadcasts.
You know, we have the best fans in the business here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Connor Gerard, Bones Does, they're all, you know, some of the best you could find.
And not sure what happened here. Looks like McCoy's starting to run away from Rickard. Not sure if he's just falling off or if he had an issue here. Let's rewind it a little bit, see if we saw any mishaps or if he's just losing ground. Going round and round here, getting a headache. Now he's just pulling away from him, I guess. Yeah, looks like Scott Rickard just starting to slow down. Them tires wearing down, but he's 1.2 seconds behind your race leader right now. We're almost halfway done.
Zach Kreitz catching up to him.
Yeah, you know, kind of surprised here. Didn't really expect that. Rickard usually really good at taking care of his equipment, but this pit cycle's about done. These guys are probably going to have to pit pretty soon. Let's pull up the pit strategy board here, see what we got. Almost 60 laps.
You know, that we don't really know where the pit stint would have ended, because that 63-lap run ended with a caution at the end of it.
Yep. So no telling. They're ripping it around. We got a camera guy on the freaking track. This is crazy.
Okay. You know, it's a contracted guy. We really don't care about his safety.
Yeah, here he should be coming up this time, Christian. Oh, looks like he's not there every lap. He's just like he just takes some laps, runs out onto the track, and other laps he goes back to safety.
Which, you know, wasn't within his contract. We're gonna have to talk with him, Blake.
Yeah, well, there we go. We got him. We got him at least right up against the pit road entry there. Watch Zach Kreitz though ripping around. He has Aaron Poplin trying to hold up Zach Kreitz. He's throwing blocks.
You know, Aaron Poplin, you know, 2 laps down still.
And looks like Brian Samara now 4 laps down. Sorry, Aaron Poplin down to 5 laps down. What happened? Did he pit under green?
I must have. I mean, last I said 2 laps because I didn't imagine he lost that much. But man, Zach Kreitz getting around the 05.
Yep, making the pass there for second. You know, we thought this was a 2-car race, but apparently we were mistaken, as Scott Rickard must have roasted them tires up.
Dylan Grimm also getting around Rickard. Rickard's falling fast.
Oh, yeah, he is ready for this pit cycle to end. He wants to pit ASAP. He might be one of the first ones to pit. Normally, we see him in these pit cycles. He's one of the last, but I don't think you're going to see that this time.
You know, if I was him, I'd think about coming here in the next lap or so. I think I'd come right now.
Yeah, I'd just start coming right now. But he's side by side with the 4 of Aaron Hale getting around him. I tell you what, I didn't expect Rickard to drop all the way outside of the top 5 here.
But we'll see how the pit strategy plays out. He might be trying to stay out longer than the people, so just, you know, pull the jets back a little bit. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out here in the lap 131 here tonight. As always, folks, we appreciate you guys tuning in here. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, the world's #1 streaming service. Tonight, we're streaming in 1440p, and you might notice have some upgraded audio. Does my voice not sound great?
I hear crickets.
Oh, no, that's because they're all typing saying how wonderful it sounds. I'm sure Bones does, and Connor Gerard will let me know.
Definitely the 2 goats of the chat.
As we're checking our chat, of course, you know, the last 10 comments or so are between Bones does and Connor Gerard himself. Sorry, Chad, I may have taken a little too much. I don't know tonight.
Tincture?
No clue. I'm lost.
Don't do drugs, kids. I guess I don't.
Who knows? Bones does doing something that we don't know about. But out front, Kyle McCoy's still your leader. Let's see when these guys are gonna start pitting. Nobody has elected to come down pit road yet.
Aaron Hale working on Chad White right now.
Side by side battle here
bars.
for the 4th position. Let's hop on board with Aaron Hale. See if he just wants to jump Chad White. He's sick of dealing with him.
You know, that would come with some serious consequences. Our lawyers are ready.
We are. I mean, I'm just ready to sue. Like, we have these lawyers on retainer, and I will sue anybody for any little insignificance.
There we go.
Kyle McCoy down pit road. Race leader.
Definitely the first taker there.
Zach Kreitz going to take it over here. New race leader, Zach Kreitz. So my guess is you're probably going to see Scott Rickard coming down pit road here pretty soon. I mean, because he is junk right now. He keeps it up, he's going to get lapped. He looks like hell out there. If I was out there, I'd probably be passing him.
Look at this cluster brewing right here. Aaron Hale got around 36. Lynch putting his nose in it, trying to get around Hale himself.
Rickard picking it back up here. Seems to have figured something out. See if he can get back around Chad White. Chad White parking it off the corner. Oh, he's coming down this time, maybe.
Looks like it. Chad White in the pits.
So Zach Kreitz, still your race leader out front of Dylan Grimm by 1.5 seconds here. Grimm in second, Nate Lynch in third. Boy, a quiet night for Nate Lynch. We haven't talked much about him, but he's been pretty quick here, Christian.
He's kind of sneaky little devil coming up on the front of the pack here.
I tell you what, he was probably looking at the Hutchinson Motorsports TV power rankings, and he was sick of being in the back. He said, you know what, I got to run good so I can climb the HMS TV power rankings.
You know, I was talking to a driver, and I'm not going to oust him, say any names, but he was saying, like, I don't believe I should be that far down on the power rankings. Like, I don't deserve to be that low. What do you have to say to somebody who says that, Blake?
Well, it is just proven fact. Everybody that cries about the power rankings, I pull up the statistics, and, I mean, it's just clear as day on why it's done. We have a patented system me and Jesse worked on for weeks before we released it, and I'd say it's doing a pretty good job.
I'd say definitely so. I tried to put some input in it, and Jesse and Blake told me to shut up, Christian. We got this.
Absolutely. We sent Christian to the track, and tonight he came over here to Bristol. He did have to use his own air miles, but he was able to make it.
Yep, and I asked Blake, can you help me pay off the credit card at least? He said, okay, go ask Puddles from MCR.
Yeah, it's just not happening. We're kind of like the WWE here, Christian. You pay your own travel.
I'm just saying I might be looking for other employment, okay?
Well, we'd hate to see you go, but Kyle McCoy just put down the fastest lap of the session a couple laps ago, a 14.66.
He is absolutely flying out there.
Well, Christian, I would not be shocked if he disconnects, though.
Nah, not tonight. We're not going to put those bad juju on him.
I think he figured it out, honestly, though. A couple weeks ago, I talked to McCoy about some hardware issues, and I believe his system was overheating. I gave him some fan tips, and it seems to have helped a little bit. But meanwhile, Nate Lynch is your race leader. Dylan Grimm in second. Aaron Hale third. Brian Lynch and Kyle McCoy rounding out in the top 5. Top 4 still have to pit.
Staying out this long, I think, is almost detrimental. You are just losing seconds per lap.
Yeah, you are. They're probably hoping for a caution, which, I get, but it's just probably not going to happen. We've got a lot of guys out of this race already. People are pretty spread out, driving pretty cleanly, so I wouldn't be counting on a caution.
No, I don't think there will be a caution.
But we see there, though, take a look. It looks like Nate Lynch did pit on that last yellow flag, so that is actually a big advantage for him. He might be able to stay out here another 20 laps or so.
Definitely so. I didn't expect to see 80, 90 lap runs here tonight, but I guess Bristol, is short track. I think they, have a good, decent sized fuel cell in the car.
Yeah, and again, we're 100% fuel here in this series, I believe. So Grimm and Hale on their 90th lap on this run here. Them tires are roasted.
Definitely so. I'm seeing, just for you, let's see if I can find them on my mini map here. 25's into the backstretch right now, and let's see, McCoy is actually,
he is on
just
lap
in front
himself.
of him.
Yep.
Yep. So he's definitely making the bad dash back around the track.
Yeah, in every lap around, McCoy's running 15 flats. Well, your race leader, Nate Lynch, he's running 15 sixes, which is pretty solid. But again, Lynch has about 20 lap fresher tires than the others that are still out there running. And Grimm's down pit road. So it's just Hale and Lynch and Brian Lynch as well. So the two Lynches both haven't pit, and then Aaron Hale.
And looking at your junk report, there's just too many names for me to list off. 13 back is parked now. We only have 12 cars on the track.
Yeah, it was a brutal pile up early on in this race. It was unfortunate for many drivers, but it really did kind of set the pace and groove this thing out to be a pretty clean race.
Wait a minute. It ain't 13 back. William Duff in the 17 car, they have taped a new front end on that car.
Wow, that looks brand new.
You could, I know they don't have fast repairs, but you couldn't convince me of that.
Christian, I kind of think they pulled the backup car out of the garage, which is totally illegal.
Definitely so. They didn't. I think they, distracted the officials with like a stake or something. They fired up a smoker and had all the officials standing around it as they, switcherooed the cars.
I think what happened, they said, William, need to come down to the garage so we can make some repairs. He pulled it into the garage. They had him get out of the car, hop into the other car, and roll out. And they told the officials they fixed it up.
Yep, I think that's what happened.
William Duff, he's back out there. Aaron Hale down the road now. And I believe Nate Lynch now is the only one that hasn't pit. Again, he is on this alternate strategy. He pit on that last caution. But Kyle McCoy running him down pretty quick.
You can physically see that time. Look at that timer just counting down.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of like he stopped.
That is insane. I've never seen a gap fall like that before my eyes. That's insane.
Here at Bristol, it's about 0.8 of a second every lap McCoy's gaining, which, it doesn't sound like a lot, but this is a short track. 0.8 of a second on 15-second laps. That goes by pretty quick.
But, come to think of it, I see, Cal McCoy, he's been out here for 28 laps now. Once Lynch pits, yes, he's slow right now, but he's going to have that advantage. Could he make it? Could this be his last stop?
Yeah, I'd assume everybody's going to have to stop one more time, including Lynch.
Yeah, but, he has to stop now. That would be his last stop. McCoy has to stop later. Could this be a winning strategy from Lynch?
I don't think so. Once he pits, he's going to fall. Might be 2 laps down. Close to it, at least.
Definitely going to be an interesting story here. Scott Richards unlapped himself, too.
Yeah, now we're up to 3 cars on the lead lap due to the pit strategy, but Lynch still out there for now. Scott Rickard working through some traffic. He is about 8 seconds behind Kyle McCoy. That's really the battle for the race lead right now.
Does it shock you to see the 3 of Ryan Lynch into the wall again?
Not at all. He's hit everything out there tonight. I don't know how. It looks like they taped the front end as well.
Every time the whole rear of the car is gone, I just noticed that. Every time you put the camera on that one, I hear the dial-up noises.
He gets in the wall a little bit there. Ryan Lynch is not a fan of Bristol.
Yeah, put that camera back on that 3 again.
Wrong one, hang on. Well, the Bell South Internet 3 machine is slow, it is junk, and he is definitely connected to dial-up internet.
I'm bored with him now.
Well, he's lifting halfway down the straightaway. He's just trying to finish this race is all he cares about. Well, Ryan Lynch, he's trying to finish this race. He's struggling, though. But Nate Lynch, still your race leader. But Christian, Kyle McCoy has just about caught him.
You know, that's insane that he's going to drove around the entire track and catching him. Look at all that traffic in front, too. Aaron just, you know, just stopping on the track.
Aaron Poplin, he's swerving all over the damn place.
He needs to turn the anime off, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch it as the three's holding on to the bottom. So Lynch still in the lead for now, but not for long as McCoy has it down to about half a second.
75 laps to go here at Thunder Valley, 250. Nate Lynch leading for now, but as you see right here, Cal McCoy going to make quick work of this. I don't foresee there being much of a battle, especially when Nate puts it in the wall. Bye-bye, McCoy.
You know, if you're Nate Lynch, though, you need a caution. I mean, don't you think the good move there would have been just to take out the 7?
You know, flat out, you know, Matt Kenseth to Logano him.
You know, honestly, that would have just been a double win. You get your caution, you can pit, you take out the best competitor, and then we're down to 5 cars on the lead lap as well. Just honestly, a winning scenario there for Lynch would have been to junk him, but he's going to come down pit road under green here.
Coming this time, he announced on the radio he just got, you know, he just lost the lead. We're going to keep an eye on him and see how many laps he falls down. 53 going to follow him down pit road, but 53 pretty irrelevant right now.
Nate Lynch is coming, and he's coming fast. Down pit road goes Lynch.
Nate, 1 lap down.
Here's your race leader, Kyle McCoy. He's going to have to pit one more time before the end of this race. So let's pull up your pit strategy board. Try to guess. He's probably going to want to cut this in half. So he pit 43 laps ago. He's still got 70 to go. So he's really going to want to stretch this one out at least another 30 laps, I'd say. Maybe 20.
But someone who doesn't have to pit is the Lynch that just pit. It looks like he stayed on the only 1 lap down.
Yeah,
and,
no,
you know,
the
he's
key
not
to him,
far behind the leader.
He's not on a bad strategy. Just the key is he's going to really need to take care of those tires because he's got to make them last now for 70 laps.
Yep, he's not far behind Kyle, so he's going to get 1 lap back here soon. You know, I think if I was him, I'd get my lap back and then just throttle back, let the race come to me.
You know, honestly, to me, I don't think this is a winning strategy, but it's definitely going to help him out. You know, he was about a 5th, 6th place car. Well, I think this might get him to 3rd or 4th.
You know, I've honestly seen my own teammate Frank Warner win in the the Donut Box Xfinity Series at Bristol on a similar strategy. Chad White just scraping the wall down. He stayed out though longer than everyone else did, and it made it work at the end.
And we're watching here. Lynch just put down a 15.0 lap time. Your race leader, McCoy, putting down 15.5. So half a second faster than even the race leader right now with those fresh tires, Nate Lynch.
There he goes by your race leader.
Says later, loser, you're not that good. Blows by him, gets his lap back.
So, Cal McCoy is an Iowa State fan, and the tune of college football coming back. Who's your favorite college?
Well, Christian, when I was a kid, I was a big Virginia Tech fan. But honestly, ever since then, I haven't really had a college. I just kind of just enjoy watching. I'm not a diehard of any of them. So basically, I prefer to troll, as you might be surprised. So like, if the Alabama Tide are doing well and everybody hates them, I'll say Roll Tide.
Yeah, I kind of see that. But speaking of Bama, the 3rd weekend in October, unfortunately, I won't be able to watch because I'll be in Talladega. But I could go ahead and announce that the 3rd week of October, Alabama will be losing to Tennessee.
I don't know about that.
You know, it's definitely Tennessee's year. Okay,
We'll have to see.
Rocky Top.
We'll see how Tennessee does, and I do know there's going to be a lot of Tennessee fans here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Not too far down the road is the college.
Definitely so.
Speaking of Tennessee, though, the Loudon Tennessean, Chad White, solid night for him. He's been running around 5th all night long.
Brian Samara just passed our race leader to get one of his mini laps back. He's actually looking fast for once.
It's about time, Brian. I tell you what, Brian looked good for the first, 10 laps? And ever since then, it's been all downhill for the 53 of Brian Samara.
You know, I'd ask him how his night's going, but I know the answer. It's going downhill and on fire. Kyle McCoy pitting.
All right, Kyle McCoy, your race leader, cutting this in half here, pitting early. So he's going to get those fresh tires here, and we'll see how this plays out between him and, I mean, maybe Nate Lynch can work himself up to him, but by the end of this one, I don't know. We're going to see how it works out.
Nate Lynch on the lead lap now, heading down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Is he going to beat Kyle McCoy off? Yes, he will.
Yes, he does, and he does it very well.
Now Kyle McCoy going to be playing a catch-up game.
He is one of the best. Nate Lynch is one of the best at doing this.
Look at all this traffic.
You know, and Nate Lynch, I mean, he's got to be feeling pretty good where he was running before the pit cycle. This has definitely worked out for him. He wants this thing to stay green, though.
Definitely so. A caution would ruin everything for him right now.
Yeah, because then everybody would just have to come down pit road, get those fresh tires. But Scott Rickard, the GOAT, your race leader, we know his strategies. 9 times out of 10, this is what he does. He's always one of the last cars to pit. He likes stretching out those pit stints so he can have the better tires at the end of a race.
You know, I personally never had the luck with that strategy. If I try to stay out and, you know, let the race come to me, it never does. If I'm banking on a caution, it's not coming. If I'm banking on no caution, put it out right now.
100% Chad White sitting in the 4th spot. Looks like he's coming down pit road.
Definitely coming this time in the Hutchinson Motorsports TV machine.
So Grimm in 3rd here, Kreitz 2nd, Rickard 1st. Well, we got Hale in 4th and Nate Lynch up to 5th now with those decently fresh tires. Now, you know here, Christian, bad news. Nate Lynch has no shot because McCoy is off of pit road, and he's like right behind Nate Lynch with the fresher tires.
But he's also a lap down, so he's going to have to pass him and then do it again.
Yeah, I think he's going to make quick work. Well, yeah, he's going to make quick work of it, though. Well, no, he's not a lap down. He's actually on the lead lap.
Oh.
Yeah, he just got around the race leader, yep.
Okay, yeah, so it's just going to be a matter of how fast can he catch him around this lap.
Yeah, and like I said, he sees Nate Lynch right in front of him, and he's got the fresher tires. So McCoy on the winning strategy if this thing stays green. Scott Rickard down pit road.
Yep, I was obviously confused there. Yeah, race is just definitely still 7's race.
Well, I think when that discussion started, the 7 was behind the race leader, and as we kept talking, he did get his lap back, which kind of threw it all.
Alrighty. Well, made the pass, 7 around the 25.
So that's going to give the race lead to the 9, Zach Kreitz. We have 5 cars on the lead lap at the moment.
Scott Rickard has pit, done his service, back on the track, 1 lap down. Let's see if he has the jets to fly it around this track and catch up maybe. 45 laps to go.
Yeah, you know, bad news for Rickard. He is about 16 seconds behind McCoy right now.
Oh my. But, you know, he's right there behind Lynch. Probably going to make quick work of him right here on the low side. The 46 car kind of, you know, hindering him.
And now, although Scott Rickard is a lap down, though. He's got some work to do. Has to get around the whole track here, around the race leader, Zach Kreitz. Still out there, has to pit out of Denver. Dylan Grimm second, McCoy up to third. You know what, Christian? We have 40 laps remaining here. Let's take our final break of the evening. We're going to kick back, relax, play some of these patented Hutchinson Motorsports TV tunes. We'll be back in a moment, folks. Be sure, click the like button, subscribe to the page. We'll be back here for the finish. Thunder Valley 250, Bristol Motor Speedway, Stars and Stripes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at Bristol Motor Speedway, Hutchinson Motorsports TV tonight. We are with the Stars and Stripes series with just about 27 laps left to go. Kyle McCoy has taken back the race lead, Christian.
Definitely so. Putting on a clinic, pulling away. I believe we can go ahead and change the nameplate on the trophy from the placeholder to Kyle McCoy. My pick to win it here tonight.
Yeah, you know, he's definitely been the car to beat. I am not surprised. McCoy always out front. And, you know, Jesse's the stats guy. There are some stats. McCoy's been here, I think, from the start, and he has, I believe, the most wins in series history, if I'm not mistaken.
He definitely does. All the fans here tonight came here to see Hutchinson Motorsports TV and Kyle McCoy. You know, there's some celebrities in the stands, too. And, you know, newly engaged couple, Travis Kelce and what's her name came out.
Yeah, that's all I've been hearing about all day.
The Swifties, you know, are very happy. Oh my goodness, they're engaged finally.
And, you know, it really matters to them. It really changes their lives at home that Taylor Swift is finally engaged.
I've seen, I was, during our break while you were stepping away, I was reading even cup teams like Spire Motorsports is posting about it like it actually matters to them. Get better on the track before you start congratulating celebrities on an engagement.
Well, Christian, I'll tell you, the only reason they're doing it because it is for clicks. They know that they'll get some clicks for it.
Absolutely. Hutchinson Motorsports TV would never use clickbait.
Oh, no, not a chance.
Yeah, impossible.
Hey, but folks, as we got 20 laps remaining, we have a message to relay from you. Larry McReynolds, he texted me this video. He wants you to hear it. We'll be back in a moment. Enjoy, and be sure to listen to him. It's America's crew chief. He would never steer you wrong. Here he is.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchinson Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
Wow, Christian, America's crew chief. What do you think of that message?
America's crew chief, the most, recognized crew chief in the NASCAR history, led Dale Earnhardt Sr. to his Daytona 500 win. Why would you not do exactly what he says?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if Larry McReynolds, if he would have sent me that video and said, hey, you guys need to delete the channel and quit broadcasting, I probably would have done it. But he's telling everybody to subscribe, so you better listen to America's crew chief. He never steers you wrong, folks. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, click that like button. Subscribe to the page. We are live 4 to 5 times every single week right now.
Definitely worth the investment to subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV. If I'm subscribed to Netflix, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Peacock, all those money hungry companies, what should I do, Blake?
Oh, well, it's pretty simple. You log in, you head over to your account, and you find the unsubscribe button or cancel my subscription, and that's all you need to do. Then you head over to YouTube, log into your account. It takes 2 seconds. Click the like button on the video, and more importantly, click that subscribe button as well.
Definitely so, but right here, Bristol Motor Speedway, we have 13 laps to go. Lucky number 13, Kyle McCoy from Morris out front.
Yeah, and then looks like second place, still Zach Kreitz. Third, Nate Lynch. Pretty good strategy for Nate, but Scott Rickard running up on him quick. Probably going to get around him here.
Definitely so. But he's not the fastest car on the track right now. That goes to the floor of Aaron Hale.
Aaron Hale's had a great night here tonight. Been a quiet one for him, but he's been up front the whole night long. He is a lap down right now. Running solid.
Definitely so, but unless there's a caution, this race is signed, sealed, and delivered with almost a 10-second lead from Kreitz. It's McCoy. Oh my goodness, I thought the caution was out.
Yeah, it's having some issues here. Not sure why the 10 to go throws it on. We'll have to let Jesse know about that.
Yeah, I was about to say. I got you.
Yeah, we'll screenshot it real quick for us. But nonetheless, Kyle McCoy out front. We're going to take off this graphic here. We're going to work on that. That's the first time I've ever seen that, but nonetheless, 8 laps remain here. Kyle McCoy out front has a 9.5 second lead. Zach Kreitz in second. We're going to hop on board. Kyle McCoy, 7 laps remain here in front of a sold-out crowd at Bristol Motor Speedway. The Thunder Valley 250. Stars and Stripes Series action. We're in the Gen 4 Cup cars here tonight, folks. We are getting down to the finish here. Any moment, if this thing stays green, it is over. Kyle McCoy way out front.
You have Kyle McCoy leading the field. Zach Kreitz in second place, 10 seconds back. 15 seconds back, you'll find the go to Scott Rickard in third place. Nate Lynch in fourth. Dylan Grimm fifth. And then you're rounding out your top 10 real quick is Aaron Hale, Chad White, Jason Gratton, Cal Bowling, and Brian Lynch.
I'm flying this drone around the track, Christian, right now. Look at this sweet shot.
Cal McCoy with 3 laps to go now. 4 laps, excuse me. Look at Blake's flying skills. Oh my.
Incredible.
Watch out for the buildings. Watch out for the buildings in the infield. Watch out for the haulers. Okay, okay. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye.
Oh, go.
Oh.
We lost it.
Daggone it, Blake.
Lost another one. Oh, well. We had some great shots, though. It's Kyle McCoy out front. He sees Scott Rickard. He says, hey, Scott, I thought you were racing me for the win. I'm about to lap you, slug.
2 laps to go. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kyle McCoy Show as he's gonna round the turn and take the white flag is in the air. Ladies and gentlemen, my pick to win it as I hand it over to Blake.
Last time around the Speedway, down the backstretch, Kyle McCoy out front with just 3 cars left on the lead lap. Out of turn 4, checkered flag in the air. Kyle McCoy wins the Thunder Valley 250.
I'm getting pretty good at picking the race winner. I might be the new GOAT.
Yeah, well, the Stars and Stripes series for sure. But it's pretty easy, though. I mean, whenever we got Kyle McCoy and Scott Rickard out here, we got a 50-50 shot, it seems like, mostly.
Yep, definitely so. Bronze Horse Garage putting on a clinic tonight with 2 cars on the podium. Pretty much like usual, though. Kyle McCoy, Scott Rickard, I think they take turns winning.
Yeah, you know, I think they go into the week before the roll. Look out! What
Just happened?
Dirty move. The 24 of Brian Lynch just smoked your race leader. That was dirty, Brian. What has gotten into the 24, Christian?
Was there some contact earlier in the race that we didn't see?
Yeah, they must be enemies. They are not happy with one another. Kyle McCoy's pit crew is... Oh, God, the crews are brawling, Christian. What are you seeing?
The crews are fighting. The crews are fighting. They are fighting on pit road. Everyone's involved. The gloves are off. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't put the camera on. There is too much, too much involved. Oh, my.
There's been some brutal hits, Christian. This is uncalled for. There are kids in the stands.
There are literally people laying out on pit road. People knocked out cold.
Oh. Well, we're going to go ahead and jump into interviews anyways, folks. We're going to get our 3rd place finisher, the GOAT, Scott Rickard. Let's pull him in here. Scott, Blake, and Christian up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Hey, you know, you didn't win it, but a good run for you here tonight. Put it on the podium. How'd it feel?
I'm not good at Bristol most 99% of the time, so top 5s are great for me here, so we'll take that.
Yeah, definitely. You know, top 3 never can complain about that. Early on, it looked like you and Kyle were going to be battling for this race win, but he started to pull away. Christian, what did you see out of the 05 here?
Just a strategy performance here tonight kept you in the top 3. Bristol, it's either going to go one of 2 ways. It's going to be a wreck fest or a runaway. And, kind of got a little of both here tonight, but managed to stay on. What was your strategy towards the long run?
I was always planning to do a 2-stop, even if it went green from the start. So when we end up going green like we did, I'm like, I'm just going to do 2 because it's usually faster here most of the time. So just committed to it.
Absolutely. Right. Well, hey, great job out there, Scott. Next week, Christian, you know where we're going? I have no clue.
We are going to Nashville Speedway.
How you feeling about your chances at Nashville, Scott?
Wait, which Nashville? That's going to depend on my answer.
I think it's the fairgrounds, ain't it? Hell, I don't know.
It is the Nashville Fairgrounds in the Arca Menards series machine.
I'm feeling better about that one because I'm not good at the Super Speedway one.
150 laps. So is the strategy going to be similar there too? Kind of like a 2-stopper? Or?
Nah, I don't think so because Bristol has been that track at least ever since I can remember that. You wear tires so fast here. That even like 10 laps on tires means something here. So I don't think we're going green long enough for that to even 150 laps there. I don't think we're going green long enough anyway.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out in that ARCA car next week. But, hey, another good run for you, Scott. Should keep you up pretty high in the HMS TV Power Rankings. Before you head out, you got any shout-outs for our fans here at home?
Team Watson Racing Setups, my dog, and everybody puts the league on.
All right, always a shout-out to the dog there. Christian, you got any final words for the GOAT, Scott Rickard?
No, but I'm sure my wife would say to tell your dog hi for her.
She's currently sleeping, unfortunately, so I kind of can't.
Okay, that's all. But congratulations on your podium finisher tonight.
Thank you.
There was Scott Rickard, our third place finisher. Time to bring in the second place car here. That is Zach Kreitz in the 9. Let's get him in here. Zach, Blake, and Christian in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, Blake. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great. You put it in second here tonight. Has to feel good. You know, early on it looked like it was going to be a battle between Kyle McCoy and Scott Rickard, but you inserted yourself in that battle, able to bring home second.
Yeah, I had a really good long run car. Yeah, I'd run a couple practice sessions here, and once you get to like 120, you'll get like a black flag for a 0 tire. So I'm glad I managed it well. But yeah, I don't know if I could have got Kyle no matter what strategy I did. He was on another level for sure. Maybe one of these days I'll beat him.
Yeah, absolutely. He was hooked up. Christian, what'd you see out of the 9 here?
You know, just playing the strategy, like you said, Cal, kind of untouchable. But what was your strategy going into the race, and did that actually play out?
I had a limit as to how far I could go on tires, and it was about 120. And so when they pitted early, I assumed they were probably gonna like 2-stop it there for that last one. So I just had to take care of my stuff. And yeah, at the end, my tires were still pretty good. I think I was running pretty close times to Kyle, even though he was on like 40 lap better tires. But yeah, there's not much different I could have done. I'll take P2. That's probably the cap for this race for me.
Absolutely. Well, hey, great job out there, Zach, putting it on the podium. Before you head out, you got any shout-outs?
Well, thank you and I'm sorry, I forget your co-partner's name, but for doing the broadcast, Nate and everybody for putting on the show. Teammates Jason, Josh, and Dylan, you know, all had good runs today. Yeah, just have a blast doing this league every Tuesday, man, and glad I get to go rewatch it on Hutchinson Motorsports.
All right, Zach. Well, hey, we appreciate it. Great job out here tonight, and we look forward to talking to you more throughout the year.
Yes, sir, Blake. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Zach Kreitz in the 9 car, your second place finisher, but it is time for the star of the show. He dominated this one. Kyle McCoy, your race winner. Let's get him in here. Kyle, Blake, and Christian up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, guys, I got you.
Hey, you did it again here. Park it in victory lane. Looks like you have finally fixed your connection/hardware issues, and you got that thing lined up.
Yeah, I think we're all set on that front. Bristol used to be the most stressful on my system, and it ran like a dream tonight, so we should be all set. Yeah, that was awesome. Really fun race. Fun to have my strategy work out, but we'll take it for sure.
Yeah, the strategy worked out perfectly. I mean, coming into this race, what was your plan? Just kind of take care of the equipment and see what happens, or what?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I showed up with more speed than I expected to, and kind of made the strategy a little easier, because then I could kind of take it easy on the bottom instead of trying to run hard on the top, and that kind of paid dividends after 30-40 laps. It seems like a lot of people are struggling with right fronts, and for whatever reason tonight I didn't have too much of an issue. So kind of taking it easy and trying to pick our best pit stop moments and go from there.
Absolutely worked out. Now, Christian, what'd you see out of the 7 of McCoy here, other than domination?
You know, my pick to win it tonight, you know, just like I said, like you said, domination. Is your strategy coming into the race, is that what played out here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, eventually you kind of knew it was going to thin out and we're going to get some green flag runs. And usually when that happens, you can kind of pit a little earlier and split it kind of into stints, but you really got to get lucky on the cautions. And luckily we didn't have anything tonight, so it looks worse than it probably was. It was a lot closer than that. Definitely Zach and Scott were both really fast, so love to see it work out, but we'll definitely take it.
Absolutely.
Congratulations on the win.
Yeah, great job winning another one. Before you head out, though, you got any shout-outs for all these fans at home?
Yeah. Shout out to all my supporters watching. I really appreciate it. Shout out to you guys for putting on a great broadcast. Shout out to Iowa State for becoming 2025 Irish national champions this past weekend. So I had to represent that. And shout out to the league for putting on a great race. Wish we would have had more cars. I don't know what happened there in the middle, but it was fun regardless, and always have a great time racing with these guys. So appreciate you guys putting it on, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, well, great job, Kyle. And like you said, there was that big pile up early on, got rid of half of our cars, but I don't think you would have had much competition otherwise. But nonetheless, great job out there, parking in victory lane again.
Thank you, boys. Appreciate it. I'll see you soon.
Kyle McCoy, tonight's race winner here at Bristol, taking home the trophy in tonight's Thunder Valley 250. The race went pretty well here tonight. Had a big pile up early on, but other than that, pretty clean, don't you think, Christian?
Definitely, other than the massive pile up at the beginning, definitely a cleaner race. One of the more cleaner ones that we've had recently. So that was always good to see, especially heading into Nashville Fairgrounds next week. That's going to be an interesting race to watch.
100% looking forward to that one next week. But, folks, be sure, click the like button, subscribe to the page so you can not miss a lap. We're going to be back here tomorrow night, the GLSR Mr. Radiator Truck Series, back on Hutchinson Motorsports TV with the points opener. And then Thursday night's going to be our series finale of the season for the All-American Cup Series, folks. We're going to round out the night, though, with a couple of promo videos for you to check out. Check out our description, though. And, again, click that like button, subscribe to the page. We appreciate you tuning in here tonight. Tonight's Stars and Stripes Thunder Valley 250 has concluded, and in the booth signing off for Christian Taylor, I'm Blake Hutchinson. See you next time.
For the first time ever, it's a racing Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Great flag in the air as a GTV ripping down the front straight.
Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
42 right there with him. Smokes him. Oh my goodness! Oh! The whole field is junk! It's a parking lot! They door slam each other. Checkered flag in the air. It's gonna be too close to call. Oh, he just got smoked! Oh my goodness! He got dumped in the racing. Caution is out. Oh,